it's time to reveal your new office. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm here at the PowerGPU warehouse where I had the opportunity of building my good friend Jesse his dream office/streaming setup. With all the cool things Jesse has done over the past year and helping and supporting all these huge creators like Kai Cenat and the AMP crew, you got Ninja, Courage, Valkyrie, Brooke, Cloaksy, just to name a few, he continues to put himself second to all of his clients and all the creators he supports, and he really just helps in any way he can. So I want to do something nice for him, so I kicked him out of his office and got to work. And I can't wait for you guys to see his reaction at the end of this video. For this office, we really only had 3 goals in mind. First one being that we wanted to keep it minimal and clean. The second being an area where he can create TikToks and also use that same camera for live streams for his face cam. Third, we wanted to make sure, again, this was an office that, his employees can come and have a place to sit and talk to him and just get basic office tasks done. The first day of this project is probably my least favorite because I had to get the room ready for all of the tech and things that we were going to bring into the office. And the first project I needed to tackle was the drop ceiling. This was a mess. I didn't like the look of it. There was water damage. I knew it just needed to be replaced and revamped, so I did just that. I removed all of the ceiling tile and put it aside. I bent all the ceiling tile grid back into place so it was all level. I then cleaned all the ceiling grid, followed up by a Scotch-Brite pad to again rough up the surface because I was gonna paint this with a nice bright white paint. After doing all of that, I cut in new ceiling tiles that we bought at Home Depot, and the ceiling was eventually back to where it looked when it was first installed. The next part of this project we had to tackle was the walls. We were gonna paint these things, but I had to cut in everything by hand with a brush, which did take a bit of time, but I think it was the best way to do it, being that the ceiling tile was still a little wet, and I had to just cut it in and it had to be perfect. We did leave the rubber molding on the bottom that was already in the room, which was a black, and I think it contrasted pretty well. After cutting everything in and using a roller to go around the outside edges to give that same texture that the main roller would go, I then painted the entire room with the main roller, and I think the color came out pretty good. There wasn't really many holes that had to be patched or anything like that, so we just painted right on over it and we were good to go. After that, it was time for the fun stuff, the tech. The first thing I wanted to do was mount the monitors. I was really surprised at how clean and sturdy the monitor arm was that we got from Amazon. This was an all-white monitor arm and it looked great. We mounted this in a way that when he's working, he can push the monitors away from him and have them as far away as possible. But when he wants to game, he can actually pull them towards himself and be a little closer to the monitors. These monitors are Corsair 32-inch, 165 hertz at 1440p, and they look beautiful. After mounting the monitors, the next thing I wanted to do was find the camera angle that we were going to be using for the future short form content and live streams. I decided to mount this camera a little bit different than I usually would. Being that he has an FX30 and a 24 to 70 millimeter lens on it, I decided to mount it in the far left corner of his room with it set to 70 millimeter of max zoom and have it really far away from him. I think it cleans up the desk and keeps it super minimal and almost kind of makes the camera disappear because it's in a dark corner of the room. The FX30 has a HDMI port on the back of the camera, so it was very simple for me to then run a cable from there all the way up and over the ceiling tile and down behind the computer, which eventually goes to an Elgato cam link that gets the display onto his computer. For powering the FX30, we went with a USB Type-C and we have it plugged into an outlet very close to the camera. With the camera mounted, I wanted to start filling in his background, and the main thing I wanted people to focus on was his PC, and this thing is a monster. This entire PC is built in a Haven HS420 case. For the CPU, it has an AMD 9800X3D. It has a Gigabyte X 870 iced out motherboard, 64 gigs of G-Scale, 6000 MHz C30 RAM. For the AIO, it has a Thermaltake TH420. It has a Kingston 2TB NVMe. It has 11 Thermaltake C20-140 fans. To top it all off, a 1200 watt Be Quiet power supply. Once I got that PC in place, I knew it was time for lighting. We went with an Amaran 100X as his key light, and that light is actually being held up by a Varipole. If you guys don't know what a Varipole is, it's just a very large tension rod that goes left to right of his room and allows me to clamp on a light to that rod. I also went with a softbox from Godox. This is the 33.5 inch softbox, and it's really low profile, so it doesn't kind of stick out into the room very much. For the placement of the key light, we went with 45 degrees to the left and 45 degrees up. This allows me to cast a shadow on the right side of his face that will eventually be filled in with a fill light. but I really do think it gives it a great look while making it short form content and make it a little bit more dramatic and not fill his entire face with light. For his fill light, which gives the shadow side of his face a little pop of color, we went with a Govee wall light. These things are super long, and I actually put it horizontally on the entire right side of his office. It not only acted as a great fill light for the shot we made for him, but it also gives the room a really cool aesthetic. For the practical light slash hair light that we introduced to the shot, we went with a Govee floor lamp. It's actually not placed on the floor, it's actually placed on the back corner of his desk behind the PC that is placed caddy corner. We not only added that for the aesthetic for the shot, but to also cover the wire management molding that was placed in the corner of the room. With the lighting all situated, I wanted to start filling in the background. And with the dark paint that I chose, I think I needed to lighten up the background a little bit, so we went with white pegboards. I also wanted to be a little bit more flexible with the background, so not only does it bring an extra little pop of color, but it also allows him to display different items depending on the topic of the video he's shooting for short form or the topic of his live stream. Wire management was a little tricky when it came to this setup, but I wanted to make sure no wires can be seen. So a combination of hiding the wires underneath the desk with cool magnets, because again, this bottom frame is metal. We used magnets and tie straps, as well as a old wire tray that I had laying around my house from IKEA. I don't think they sell them anymore, but I think the colors and everything match perfect, so it was worth me bringing it in and using it. We wanted to wire this desk for a single PC setup, but a 2 PC setup could be used in the future. So I did all of the pre-work in wiring the monitors as well as Ethernet into a switch, just so it would be plug and play when the time comes if he does want to use a 2 PC setup. We also mounted a power strip to the inside of this metal desk. I think it was a great way, instead of mounting it directly to the top of the desk and having these ports coming directly down, I actually can plug them in sideways right behind the metal tray. For the audio for his single PC setup and future dual PC setup, we went with the Beacon Studio. The Beacon Studio is a great solution for an XLR interface, but it also has a lot of features for a dual PC setup that make it super simple. And you combine that with the Beacon Mix Crate and you have the perfect combo. That is what I use in my current setup at home, and I think it's a great setup for anyone to try, especially with the Go XLR going out of business. Also from Beacon, we have a white Beacon mic arm that is holding his Shure XLR microphone. And next to that, we have an Elgato XL Stream Deck. For the main peripherals, he is going with the new Corsair 60% wireless keyboard, and for his mouse, he has the Ponage Stormbreaker. Now for a couple things that I added around the room that just made sense to me. I added a hook for all of his badges for all the different events he went to, and I also added a hook for his backpack or jacket. I added 2 sound panels that were mounted to the left and right of the camera. When he's talking towards that camera for his short form content or live streams, it doesn't bounce and have any echo. I also added a whiteboard to the left of him, completely out of camera view, that allows him to do any basic business tasks. I also hung a webcam on the wall behind him, allowing him to be able to toggle to that during his live streams to show everyone his entire setup. We also added a small white couch to give people a place to sit if they came and saw him in his office. This room took a long 4 days to build, but Jesse's reaction to it was all worth it. And now I'm going to show you a clip of me showing Jesse his office for the first time.
Where did you first?
What? Bro. Oh my God. Dude, this is
You like it?
clean. What do you mean? Oh my, oh, the camera's over here.
Yeah? I can't wait for you
Dude.
to see the shot we cooked up for you.
What the heck?
You got-
Oh my, oh, what?
Yeah.
Dude,
You sit
Sit in
down.
the chair.
Sit down, hang out.
Look at the shot. Sit in the chair, look at the camera.
oh my God.
Right?
Bro, you killed it.
I'm so happy that it, like how it came out, the whole background, the pegboard.
No, this is exactly what, like, simplicity.
Yes,
You just,
simple, clean. We did a couple cool little odds and ends around the room.
oh dude, I'm not gaming from home at all anymore. This is gonna be from,
I knew that was gonna be the problem. But
Wow.
yeah, so there's a couple little things that I wanted to point out. We hooked you up with a hook for all of your badges for all your different events.
oh
You
dude.
always
I
hang them on the
never-
back
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you like lose track, but now you can just continue to add to your collection. And then if you don't want to see them, I also added another one up here for your jacket and stuff. So if you ever want to do that.
Dude, that is so sick.
We went full length bar with the light bar. It kind of like doubles as your fill light and background. It took me a little bit, but I was like, it
How'd you
felt
do that?
so weird about ending it there that like I kind of like worked it
Wanted
around
to
the
make
corner. We redid your entire drop ceiling as well.
Yeah, I see that.
Took all the panels out, bent all them back into place. We have another webcam up there showing your whole setup so you can utilize that throughout your stream as well. And we ran everything in the ceiling so it's out of the way and you can see everything. We have a Amaran 100X as your light with a Godox 33.5 inch softbox on it. And then we have a sofa. We have your FX30, I believe.
Dude, now when I write people up, I can write them up in style.
Yeah, exactly. They sit here, they hang out. These two sound panels also will help with.
Hold on, I couldn't see those before.
Yeah, they're sound panels. So we got wire management everywhere. We got this running the power from there, so it's nice and neat. We also have power directly to the camera running from the outlet behind here.
Jesus, dude. This is insane.
And then obviously we have the broken GPUs hanging up on the pegboard as well. I didn't know what kind of stuff you wanted to assort here, right? Because you can do all kinds of different stuff, but this is just the stuff it came with. Obviously I wanted to get
I love the positioning of the PC.
Yeah, a little caddy corner. It also helps hide that lamp that's in the back. But we kind of went super simple with everything here from
I'm getting goosebumps.
Beacon Studio,
Like,
Beacon mic
sick.
arm, Beacon Mix Create, Elgato XL.
This
and
is
then
the
all your
simplicity.
Corsair stuff.
I always love simple setups.
Yeah, and I really do like this part of it too. If you want to just stand right here so you can see the screen. So with your long arms, you'll definitely have, so you can actually show and it blurs everything behind it.
Gosh.
Because of how zoomed in we are with the camera, we're able to do that. So again, with this, like, if you want to show off this keyboard, you can, and it blurs everything.
Oh, dude, this is gonna be amazing.
So, yeah.
Dang, dude, thank you so much, dude.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. Obviously, you've done a lot for me in my content creation career and gaming career, so it's the least I can do.
You know you're the first person to do something for me?
Oh, well,
No, like legit.
well, this is what I want to
Literally,
do.
it's been, what, 10 years in this industry, and I've done so much for other people, and you're the first to do something for me.
Look,
Like at this scale, like for something like this.
Oh, and by the way, look at that.
I know, I like that.
Yeah, we got to get one for your wife though, because she has that foam thing in there. But
Dude, this is insane, dude.
I think it came out
Gosh.
great.
I'm not leaving this office.
After partnering with PowerGPU over 2 years ago, I had the opportunity of getting to know Jesse, and it's safe to say he's one of the nicest people I ever met. That partnership eventually evolved into a friendship with our common interests of ginger ale and tiramisu, and that friendship eventually evolved into me introducing him to my son as Uncle Jesse. He is truly an amazing person, and I can't imagine my life without him. He's made me a better man and continues to surprise me with his givingness and constantly willing to support, and I can't thank him enough. And I'm glad that I had the opportunity to do this for him, because for someone that gives so much, I don't think he receives enough. So that's why I wanted to step up and do this for him. I don't care how long it took. Friendly reminder, don't forget to use code Danny at checkout when buying your new PC at PowerGPU. Not only does that support Ali and I and PowerGPU family here, but it also saves you money. Thank you so much for taking this time out of your day to watch the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed. I hope to see you in the next one because it's going to be a banger. See you later.